Brace yourselves, as we are today discussing Alastair Reynolds' final entry to the Prefect Dreyfus Emergencies, namely the novel Machine Vendetta. As with the other novels contained within this sub-series of the Revelation Space universe, Machine Vendetta is a direct sequel to The Prefect / Aurora Rising and Elysium Fire. As I mentioned earlier, this arrangement shows more of the traditional continuity you would expect from a sequel by other authors, which is somewhat atypical for Alastair Reynolds' broader Revelation Space series, where significant shifts in setting, characters and time were usually the norm. Unsurprisingly, Machine Vendetta, which was published very recently in 2024, therefore shares a lot with the previous two novels of the sub-series regarding setting, characters and world building. In a possibly autistic detail, Machine Vendetta's page count of 416 hovers at virtually identical page counts as The Prefect / Aurora Rising, with its 410 pages, and Elysium Fire's 415 pages. Has this something to do with specifics in a book deal with publishers? Who knows? In any case, Machine Vendetta leans toward the harder end of the sci-fi spectrum on the Moe scale, set within a narrative universe that feels expansive. However, the number of truly fresh and novel concepts is limited, as most were already introduced in one form or the other in the first two novels. Many characters from those books also reappear, giving this mid-sized cast of protagonists and supporting characters further opportunities for development and also for concluding their personal arcs, as this is the final entry in this particular sub-series, and also the wider Revelation Space universe, if we can believe Alastair Reynolds' recent statements. Although, to be precise, there remains the loophole of it being the last entry to this particular narrative universe for the foreseeable future. In terms of critical reception, Machine Vendetta has yet not been nominated for any awards, which may change in the coming months and the coming award seasons. The novel received a starred review in Publishers Weekly and was also reviewed by Locus Magazine and SFF World. Moreover, its popular reception is reflected in a quite strong combined rating of 4.4 out of 5 stars, based on several thousand reviews on the usual aggregator sites. The story told in Machine Vendetta takes place once more in Panoply and the roughly 10,000 various city-states orbiting the planet Yellowstone, the so-called Glitter Band. Ingvar Tench was one of Panoply's most seasoned agents. So why did she venture alone and unarmed into a habitat that harbored a deep resentment toward her organization? As her colleagues try to piece together what happened after her death, Prefect Tom Dreyfus is forced to confront his own conscience. 4 years earlier, when a high-stakes investigation involving one of his most formidable enemies became too personal, Dreyfus had Tench continue the inquiry on his behalf. By doing so, did he unknowingly place her in harm's way? And what new warning does her attack signal about a foe he had thought and hoped was inactive? Machine Vendetta delivers more of what fans loved about the previous two novels in the Prefect Dreyfus Emergencies, and in the best way. The story upholds the high standard set by its predecessors, with a compelling cast of characters, a richly developed world that Alastair Reynolds has carefully expanded throughout the series, and an efficient progression of the plot, owing in no small part to the aforementioned rather restrictive page count if we compare it to some of the other novels that Alastair Reynolds has published previously. In Machine Vendetta, Reynolds also provides a fitting conclusion for both the characters and the overarching storyline of this particular sub-series. This satisfying send-off stands in contrast to the Inhibitor sequence, whose original ending felt somewhat unresolved until the publication of Inhibitor Phase. It was published in 2021, and it offered a more complete and much needed, even if delayed, resolution. For context, the Inhibitor sequence comprises the novels Chasm City, Revelation Space, Redemption Arc, Absolution Gap, and obviously Inhibitor Phase. In this sense, Machine Vendetta is a no-brainer for fans of this particular sub-series, but also for fans who are more broadly familiar with Alastair Reynolds and his other works. If you have not yet read the previous 2 installments, they are well worth starting with and a necessary precondition before even thinking of venturing into Machine Vendetta. Don't let yourself be fooled by claims that these novels are independent from each other and can't be read in isolation. This might be true in principle, but I would strongly suggest to stick with the normal numbering scheme. By the time you finish the Prefect/Aurora Rising, it is likely you will already know whether this series is for you. But I suspect most readers will want to see it through to the end. If you liked this video, you may also enjoy the other reviews and content on my channel. Feel free to leave a comment if you want to discuss the novels or if you want to suggest other books that I should review in the future. Please consider upvoting and subscribing, it is much appreciated. Thank you for watching, and until next time.